Good morning and welcome to another episode of The Studio. My name is Adam. This is 5 things I wish I had known before studying music. Thank you so much to my studio VIPs, Robert Utomo, Bradley Crowley, Ryan Carlos, Sangshun Han, Scott Rader, Greg Harris, Dean P. Newberger, Mr. Grizzly, and Jake Carroll Gilliland. Thank you so much for your continued support. And today's featured studio artist is Dane Anderson. Thank you so much for your continued support. If you'd like to become a studio VIP or a studio artist, you can go to patreon.com/AdamTan. Or you can click it over here. Welcome back to the show once again. Hope you've been well, hope you've been staying safe. Today's video is on, I wouldn't say it's a serious topic, but more just something more applicable to daily life, I guess. Today I'm going to be talking about studying music, and I'm going to be talking about 5 things I wish I had known before I started studying music, because I graduated 5 years ago, I can't count. So I graduated 5 years ago with a Master of Music degree, and I went through exactly the same thing that pretty much most people watching this video would have gone through or are going through right now if they're studying music. Ever since then, I've been teaching, I've been doing this YouTube stuff, I've been composing, all kinds of things. It's kind of my full-time job now. And I know that hindsight is 2020, but there have been so many times where I wish I could have gone back and done certain things better during my time at university, because it's one of those periods of time where you're just out of secondary school and you have so many resources available to you. Suddenly you're treated like an adult, suddenly you have so many instruments in the conservatorium or the school that you're in, and it's like you can pretty much do anything you want. So that's why I wanted to make this video today, and if you're new to the channel, hit that red subscribe button below to keep up my uploads. I make videos like this all the time, every single week on this channel, and if you haven't already, hit that notification bell to know whenever I upload a new episode. Okay, so the first thing is you should attend as many concerts as possible. So concerts can mean many things. Take for example your university or school's concerts. They might have a weekly concert series that you have to go to as part of your degree. They might have a whole bunch of other concerts that you must go to if they're pertaining to your instrument group or to your field of study. And if they're not pertaining to your field of study, maybe they're just there in the concert program. The best thing about these concerts that are hosted by your university or your college is, well, firstly, they're usually free. Secondly, they're usually on campus, so you don't have to actually go anywhere. And thirdly, a lot of the time they involve your friends or your mentors or your teachers, and it's really good to attend these events because you're basically supporting each other. You'll be exposed to so many new things, including playing styles, repertoire that you probably wouldn't have seen before, instruments, ensembles, and more. In fact, some of the best concerts that I went to weren't even percussion concerts. They were, like there was a piano duo concert, I think it was Ligeti, and I got so much out of the way that they were beating and pulsing each other. Beating each other sounds really bad, doesn't it? You know what I mean, okay? They were cueing each other in this really unique way, and I took those cues and I actually used them in a Steve Reich concert a couple of weeks later, and it was so good, so useful. But what about concerts outside of the sphere of your colleges and universities? So think about things like, well, obviously major symphony orchestras and operas, but also community groups like community orchestras, community ensembles, chamber ensembles, schools like secondary schools. There's so many different concerts that you can attend, and usually it's the ones that you least expect that will give you the most return. And obviously everybody has different levels of access. For example, if cost is a factor, you can always try asking your university's office if they can give free tickets to one of their partners. For example, I used to go to a lot of symphony orchestra concerts for free because our university gave us free tickets. And of course, the situation we're in right now where a lot of people can't physically attend concerts, you can always watch online concerts. There are so many free online live stream concerts happening right now. If you're not sure, join some percussion groups on Facebook, on Instagram. You can always check out our Discord server at adamtanpercussion.com/Discord. There's always a lot of stuff happening online that you can always catch. And I found that if I went to other people's concerts, they would actually turn up to mine all the time because they would remember seeing my face, and I would always say to them, you did a really great job and I'm really happy to have seen you play. And they would come back to my concert, and it would be such a great feeling. So don't ever forget about your friends. Okay, the second thing is playing all kinds of music and with all kinds of people makes you stronger. Don't ever limit yourself when you're at university. There are so many things you can try at university because you have exposure to so many instruments. I mean, percussion studios at universities, they usually have the most instruments you're ever going to get free access to in your lifetime. And you also have access to so many friends who play all kinds of different instruments. You have access to so many faculty who have all kinds of different influences. And this is the best opportunity to truly manifest your music learning mode and just absorb everything around you. For example, when I started studying at uni, I was really against the idea of playing contemporary music. So anything that involved found objects, anything that involved electroacoustic music, I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. I only want to play rain dance. But I remember we started getting introduced to more contemporary music. We played Inuksut, which is, okay, I get that's pretty mainstream nowadays, but bear with me. I remember playing a lot of works by student composers and they would experiment with all kinds of things. I think one time I actually played an actual anvil with like a massive hammer in an orchestra, like, ding! And I was like, wow, this is a lot of effort for one sound, but okay. I ended up meeting Mark Applebaum with the rest of my percussion studio in Melbourne, and I remember we played Catfish for him. We played one of his really scenic works with a graphic notation all stuck around the hall. That was really fun. I learned a lot of different techniques from that, including things like, you know, extended gesture, finding different textures and sounds from just one mallet. It just means that you're going to be able to better inform your performance practice, and it's just going to be so much better than if you had just played one style of music for the entirety of your degree. And then people, don't be afraid to play with people you don't know. Don't be afraid to play with people who bring different influences to the table. Don't be afraid to play with people who play different instruments to you or are in different courses to you. So like, I liked playing with jazz people very much. I liked playing with contemporary people very much, even though I was a classical student. And I learned so many different things about improvisation, about harmony from these people. And some of them are still my friends today, and we don't even have to play music anymore to meet up. So you never really know what's going to happen. Try not to limit yourself when you're at university. Okay, number 3, this is something that I'm sure a lot of you experience all the time. Comparing yourself to others is unhealthy. Now, there's a difference between having like natural competition, for example, just having a whole bunch of different people in the percussion studio and being like, well, it's really good, we encourage each other, we motivate each other, and we get better as a whole. And negative, you know, self-deprecating comparisons where you look at someone who appears like they're playing really well, they play very accurately, or they play very fast, and you say, oh, I wish I could be like that person, I wish I could play that fast, how come I can't play that fast, how come I can't play that exact piece in that exact style? And that's the thing. You shouldn't be trying to be someone else. You should be trying to be the best version of yourself. So the only person you should be comparing to is your past self. Like during university, and to be honest, even now, I still have this problem where I always see someone who is really good and I say, I wish I could be like them. I think I had this phase in university where I was saying, I really want to be able to play all of the advanced marimba solos like this person. I want to be able to play Merlin. I want to be able to play all of Pius Cheng's etudes. I want to be able to play Khan variations. I want to do all of this because I had met someone who was in their second year of university in America who was very, very good. And I had wished so hard in my 4th year that I could be as good as that person. And it wasn't until I started recording myself more, posting videos of myself and playing publicly more, people started saying, oh, Adam, I didn't know you could play it like that. Okay, I know that can be interpreted as a bad thing. Wait. I remember watching videos of Robert Utomo's Over the Rainbow arrangement. It's very famous, and of course there are so many videos of it. And it was so interesting to see how everybody's version was slightly different. Even though they were all playing the notes correctly, I don't think they were doing anything completely out of context, but there were just so many different ideas and different gestures. Yeah, that's the thing, like, it's okay to be yourself. The thing is, no matter how far you are in your career, it never really stops. There's always going to be someone who's much better than you or is achieving something that you wish to achieve, and there's always going to be someone that is maybe not achieving the things that you are achieving, and they're wishing to be like you, and it's just an endless cycle. And if you keep comparing to each other, it's very unproductive. So instead of trying to play better than everyone else, try and play better than your past self. If you're enjoying the video so far, please give me a thumbs up and let me know down in the comments below if you have anything else that you'd like me to talk about, or if you have any tips that you think people should know. Let me know down below. Okay, number 4, being open to criticism can help you grow. So whenever your teachers are giving you valuable feedback about your playing, even if they say something like, okay, look, you didn't play this correctly and this is why, and this is something that you can do to to fix it. You should always take that advice on board. Even if after you hear that advice and you think that your teacher is nuts, you think that everything they're saying is so weird, at least keep it in mind. And maybe you can even write it down in a book. I used to keep all of my teachers' feedback in a book, and then you can look back at it later. So then maybe if you try again and you're still not figuring it out, you can go back to your teacher's feedback. Oh, and maybe something they said, maybe just one thing they said can help you solve the problem. It can even be your peers. If you decide to play like, a mock audition or a concert prac in front of your friends and they say, oh, maybe you could try doing the articulation like this, maybe you could try having soft dynamics, take it on board. And again, if you don't agree with it, just save it in the book. When I was in my 3rd and 4th year of university, I've said this in the roasting videos as well, I was really cocky. I think I was actually pretty arrogant, and I actually thought I was really good. And when people told me that maybe I wasn't playing so well, maybe I was playing a little bit too stiff, I would say, whatever, like my playing is God tier and is incredible, blissful, automatic. I kept thinking my playing was so good, and it wasn't until I went to the United States and I went to Chosen Vale and I got humbled by Nancy Zeltzman, amongst others, telling me that my playing was trash. That really made me think and made me investigate other ways to play. It made me practice my technique more, and now I'm a much stronger player because of it. And I still have a long way to go. Like, I would like to still be able to play faster, better, and just more efficiently, and that will just come with more criticism. And the final thing that I wish I had known before I had studied music is it's okay to have a break. This is actually probably the most important one of all of the above, because especially in music, we kind of forget about being humans. And I think there's this very obsessive culture of hustling and working hard and practicing 40 hours a day. And I used to do this too. I used to lock myself in a practice room and play for 8 hours straight. Just marimba for preparation of a recital. I would leave at 2 a.m. and I would get home, I'd be very tired and do it all over again the next day. And it's just unproductive. It doesn't elicit good results at all. I saw a lot of my friends doing the same thing and they would always look so tired. I started going to the gym recently. I know, gym life. One of the best pieces of advice that I saw on this workout planning video was this quote right here. Get enough rest to do your best. It actually sounds really lame when I say it, but it sounded better when the other person said it, okay? So rest or having a break, there's many different ways to do this. One way that I like to do is to just do things completely outside of the world that you're working in. So if the thing that's stressing me out is marimba related or percussion related or video making related, I'll do something that is not any of those things. Like, I won't play marimba to relax myself because it will remind me of the work. Instead, I'll go for a walk, or I'll go for a run, I'll go to the gym, I'll go meet friends, something like that. And it can be really simple. It can be something like getting more sleep, or drinking more water, or eating better food and not having too much caffeine. I've recently cut a lot of caffeine out of my life. And another thing you can try is scheduling better. I've also made a morning routine because when I was in university, I would always sleep very late at like 2 or 3 and wake up at like 7 and I'd be dead. So now I have a morning routine where I go to the gym every single morning, which means I have to sleep earlier the night before, and the list goes on. Like, there's just so many ways to do it. Everybody is different, but just try your best to give yourself some rest time. And here's a really important one that you have to make sure of. If things are really getting bad for any reason, whether it's stress, anxiety, or something to do with, close friends or family, something like that that has affected you really badly and you can't do anything, then give yourself a big break. Like, whether it's 1 week, 2 weeks, a month, or even a few months if it takes that long. I remember when I had just finished my master's degree and I was really anxious about not having a job. I had a few personal things going on at the time and I didn't eat most days. I ate like maybe 1 meal a day and I was losing a lot of weight. Yeah, it wasn't until I took a really long break, I think it was about 1.5 months of just trying to get myself back into order before things started getting back to normal. So don't be afraid to take a break. It's not weak to take a break. It's not lazy to take a break. It's normal. And it's something that we should definitely normalize as a music community. The idea of just giving yourself a rest. If you enjoyed today's video, please give me a thumbs up and let me know down in the comments below if you have any questions or if you would like more videos like this. Let me know down below because I'd love to hear from you. And if you haven't already, hit that red subscribe button below to keep up my uploads. I upload every single week on this channel, all kinds of percussion content. And if you haven't already joined our Discord server, go to percussion.com/ Discord. It's a really fun community if you're ever feeling like you need to chat to somebody. Thank you so much for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next week for another episode of The Studio. Good night.
Set me free. You make me win every way. You show